Hey everyone, and welcome to Gotta Go Orlando. In today's video we'll be taking a look at the major projects that's happening here in Orlando, Florida's theme parks. We'll be covering SeaWorld, Busch Gardens Tampa and Walt Disney World, checking out projects which are about to start, which are gonna start in 2025 and beyond. So if you thought them pesky work walls were gone, unfortunately they're coming back and they're gonna be around for a long time. But the great thing is we're getting brand new exciting attractions in our theme parks. Now with the exciting news ahead, Epic Universe is set to open its doors in 2025 and there is no denying this park promises thrilling family adventures. I have already shared my thoughts on this park in a previous video, so make sure you check that video out. I'll pop a card right here. Meanwhile, SeaWorld is stepping up its game, targeting a younger audience with thrilling new attractions, from the not so family friendly icebreaker roller coaster, yeah, we remember the ups and downs of that one and its height restrictions, to the immersive experience of Penguin Trek. SeaWorld is committed to delivering unforgettable experiences, and now they're introducing a stunning flying cinema that we'll dive into shortly. But they're not alone. Busch Gardens Tampa is making waves too, with Phoenix Rising and the much anticipated Wild Oasis Realm set for 2025. It's clear that Orlando, Florida's theme parks are in a fierce competition for the family-friendly market. SeaWorld Orlando especially being on the doorstep to WDW and Epic Universe. So let's explore these exhilarating developments shaping the future for family-friendly fun, starting with SeaWorld Orlando. It was seen in the past few months that Mack Rides has left some wooden crates over at the Wild Arctic area, and recently we received a press release, so we tried to join the dots. So in the press release, SeaWorld Orlando describes the new attraction as a groundbreaking attraction planned to open in spring 2025. It's going to be the world's first of its kind Arctic flying theatre, taking guests on an adventure soaring over icy landscapes, diving beneath frozen waters, and you'll come face to face with some of the planet's most magnificent creatures. This new attraction is an indoor attraction, so it will operate come rain or shine. It also accommodates guests with a minimum height requirement of 39 inches, and the attraction itself will take riders on a 4.5 minute adventure within one of two immersive multi-level theatres, which will accommodate 30 guests at a time. So based on all of this information, we headed over to the Mack Rides website and done a quick search, i.e. searching on their website Flying Cinema, and we found the Aerific ride system. So let's check out what this ride system has to offer. The Mack Flying Theatre ride is designed and developed to deliver a full immersive flying experience wherein guests are positioned in front of a huge spherical media screen. The guests are positioned in 3 levels, each level offering seats for 12 guests, in total 36 seats, but this is adaptable depending on the theme park space and budget. Each seat bench unit has 4 degrees of freedom: heave, pitch, roll and yaw, and detailed investigations have shown that these degrees of freedom are mandatory and sufficient to ensure a perfect flying experience. Additionally, multiple special effects like wind, water and scents are installed within the roof of the attraction above the guest to enhance overall ride experience. In order to address the operational challenges for time-consuming loading and unloading of existing flying theatres, the Mack Rides design incorporates a first-of-a-kind rotating main tower structure, wherein both sides offer 3 levels with 36 seats on each side. This will facilitate that the loading and unloading task can be easily done while the other 36 guests are enjoying the ride. For example, if the film is 4 minutes 30, the load and unload time is equally also 4 minutes 30 and will not affect the hourly capacity of the ride at all. And here's some of the key details. The theatre can be equipped with wind, mist, water effects, easy boarding process, sound absorbing wall configuration, it's fun for the whole family, dynamic ride motion, high-end multimedia components, flying theatre film also available in-house, and smallest footprint of this kind of attraction. If you compare the press press release and this ride system, the only difference I can see is the amount of seating, but this is adjustable depending on space and budget. Like I said before, honestly, we are super excited to see SeaWorld getting a new dark ride, even if there is some similarities to the original Wild Arctic ride, which was very similar to Star Tours, and this new model being very similar to Soaring. A dark ride or an indoor attraction was one of the things we felt SeaWorld was lacking, and we love the fact that this ride will give you a good 4.5 minute experience, excluding the pre-show and exit. The next project we're going to have a quick look at is the filed application to Orange County for the plans to develop a 15-story 504 room hotel adjacent to its main theme park, SeaWorld, near the intersection of International Drive and Central Florida Parkway. Project name Starboard, this nearly 30-acre project would include direct access to the theme park close to the Nautilus Theatre and would include a restaurant, rooftop bar and terrace, conference centre, fitness centre, together with multiple pools and lounging areas. The hotel would also include parking for over 747 cars with a 6-level parking lot. But for now, there's no more details for this project. Then we also have the new nearly 50-acre project with the codename Canopy, 6-story 250 room hotel with direct access to Discovery Cove off Central Florida Parkway, which would be located on the car park of Discovery Cove. The hotel would include a guest walkway to Discovery Cove itself and also would include treetops, restaurant, bar, gift shop, spa, reception area, meeting rooms, bungalows and other amenities. Now I'm sure that soon we are going to see movement on these projects, with the land being cleared and with SeaWorld, the saltwater pond being relocated and the back of house areas being cleared. As it was mentioned by SeaWorld Chief Executive Officer Mark Swanson, the company's committed to its hotel strategy, saying it had identified the locations for its first hotels. We are refining our design plans on the first hotels and we expect to begin opening in 2026. And we definitely know they've been testing some themed room ideas, with the Penguin Trek themed room at the Wyndham Resort, Bonnet Creek. Up next, we're going to head over to Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. Now I know some of us are a little disappointed that the news was not about the rumoured and anticipated Giga Coaster. If this project is ever going to happen, we can only hope now that construction for it would start in 2025 for an opening in 2026. But as of now and recording this video, we know nothing on this project and if it's even gonna happen. But we do have a new attraction for 2025. We got the brand new themed area called Wild Oasis Realm, which will be located in the Jungala area of Busch Gardens, which was last opened to the public 5 years ago. This newly themed area will include captivating attractions, engaging animal exhibits, and more interactive elements, making it North America's most immersive, kid-friendly adventure realm. Prepare to be captivated by the sights and sounds of the rainforest, the rush of the newly reimagined drop tower featuring state-of-the-art digital and sound effects, an interactive water play wonderland, and multi-level climbing canopy. Also, you can discover an all-new multi-species animal habitat for up-close encounters with some of the world's most fascinating animals. We are thrilled to see Busch Gardens Tampa breathe new life into a corner of the park with this new development of this realm. Stuart Clark, president of Busch Gardens Tampa Bay, said the all-new Wild Oasis truly offers something for everyone, whether you love the thrilling rides or learning about animals, getting wet or climbing high, or just cooling off under the shade of the rainforest canopy. Yes, it's a family-friendly area, and with last year's edition of Phoenix Rising, we can see that United Parks are fighting back against the up-and-coming Epic universe, making sure that family attractions are in the core more offerings for the future, and it looks like work has already begun on this new area, as it has been seen that contractor vehicles are on site. Now on to Walt Disney World and all the projects in the pipeline. It's a fresh fiscal year with new spreadsheets, new budgets, meaning that we're going to see a lot of projects start really soon. But it's not just about the projects, it's also about keeping footfall in the parks, and this is why we have seen the new offers for hotel stays drop over the last few weeks, offering annual pass holders up to 35% off hotel rates, Florida residents up to 30% off hotel rates, and up to 25% off for everybody else for resort hotels in early 2025. And this is all in the aim of getting you through the gates, as once you're in, you'll notice the pricing has risen on other add-ons, such as your lightning lanes, food, beverage and souvenirs. So let's take a look at the projects that have already started, ones that should be starting really soon, and projects that should be starting in 2025 and beyond. So let's start off with Test Track 3.0, which is set to open in 2025. Walt Disney World announced that Test Track would be closing for a lengthy refurbishment to redesign the ride into the new and up-to-date version of its predecessor. This came out of the blue at the D23 Conventions Park panel last fall in 2024, and we was only given 2 sneak peek concept arts to look at, but it was very clear from the artwork that Imagineers, along with teams from the corporate alliance partners Chevrolet, was taking inspiration from the original World of Motion. So let's start right from the beginning of Test Track 3.0. As we have seen from the front, canopy has now been removed, opening up the views as you arrive to Test Track, and also streamlining and cleaning up the fussy facade, returning its architectural features. But that's not all, it's also cleaning up the views from the function room, which is located overlooking the main entrance on the floors above the Test Track attraction. Definitely an improvement from the start. Now once you have made it into the queue and you're in the internal section of the queuing area, you will come across 6 different exhibits. Each exhibit will showcase vehicles and the minds behind them from the past to the present date. Now moving on to the ride itself, the one thing I really wanted to see more of is physical sets in opposed to screen based, and I know we will be getting some screen/projections, but I'm hoping it's going to be a healthy mix, leaning more towards the physical aspect. A company that has turned up in permits is John Richards Company, a contractor for installation of set elements. This company has been used many times before on projects such as the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. What we do know about the attraction is it's going to showcase the technological advances, lifestyle, relationship, and how they enhance your driving experience. And all of this will be bolstered by taking you on a drive through scenes based on roads that show off the joy of driving. Like I said in my last video on this topic, I would love to see different experiences such as the Route 66, and from artwork we definitely know we're going to get some form of a forest environment. Our next piece of information is from the 3rd of October. A new permit for electrical work was released for a third-party contractor called Pro Audio Video Inc. It's kind of obvious what this company does. For sure they will be doing some form of screen-based elements inside the queuing area, exhibits, and inside the ride itself. Sound is a very important element in any attraction, and the quality of sound can either make or break an attraction. Well, take attractions like Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which features the stunning New Orleans music, or Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, or even Pandora. All of these areas and rides have amazing sound, all designed to wrap you in the story. One of the next permits we're going to be discussing is the company based in Pennsylvania called Spitz Inc., and WDW have used this company in the past as well. Now if you haven't heard about this company before, they deal with planetariums and immersive computer graphic fields. They design design, fabricate, program and create content for dome theatres and dome classrooms around the world. I do see this tech being used in creating night skies while you drive through each scene, similar to what you see when you're riding Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, possibly several different domes creating different skies in each of the scenes, like Starry Nights, the Northern Lights, Thunder and Lightning, and transforming from day to night. And in my last video on this topic we spoke about Coastal Steel, who work with WDW on many projects. They mainly work on maintenance, system repairs, track replacement, fabrication and erection side of things, and we have already seen structural work being carried out on the track supports at the front of the attraction itself, and for sure some sections of wear and tear will be replaced for Test Track 3.0 so the ride runs for many years to come. At present we know that Test Track will be back in 2025, but as for dates nothing has been announced as yet, but maybe we'll get some more details about Test Track 3.0 at D23 in Brazil on November the 8th, 9th and 10th. But for an opening, if I was to take a guess, spring break, Memorial Day the earliest and July the 4th being the latest. Now we're going to move over to Disney's Animal Kingdom, where we're going to see the first set of closures in January 2025, and it's going to be in Dino Land, USA. The great thing about this project is that it can be tackled in sections, meaning less disruption for the theme park's operations. We have seen the artwork for this new land based around the tropical Americas, and we can see that most of the existing structures will be reused to create this new land, new facades and new interiors. Take the dinosaur ride. This will be rethemed, much like what they're doing with Test Track. Dinosaur will become the new Indiana Jones ride, but with an all new story, making it completely different to other Indiana Jones rides in other Disney parks. But don't worry, it won't be closing anytime soon, as this attraction will not be closing until later on in 2025, and the same goes for the Boneyard, Restaurantosaurus, Dino Bites Snacks and Trillo Bites. The Triceratops spin attraction will be removed, which will begin in the first wave of the removals in January, along with Fossil Fun Games and the Hester and Chester Dinosaur Treasures Shop, which all to begin on January the 12th. But the exciting news is we're getting a new dark ride attraction based on Encanto, and this will be located where Primeval World once stood, and this area has already been cleared for several years now and is already walled off. And as we have reported in the past, permits have been submitted and backstage works has already begun, with containers and trailers for Disney Imagineers and construction contractors being installed, so we will most definitely be seeing more walls going up and the site getting cleared out in several weeks time. So if you're a big fan of the Triceratops spin and the area in general, I would get them last rides in soon. Now the next attraction here at Animal Kingdom is the Tree of Life. It's a Bug's Life. At this time the retheme to Zootopia has gone a bit quiet, but it will be happening. I do feel that the work would start in the middle of next year and a possible opening in next winter, but as of today we know nothing about the timeline for this project. Now let's move over to Hollywood Studios and talk about Monsters Inc. We are still waiting for the possible area where it's going to be built, whether it's going to be in Muppets Courtyard or Animation Courtyard. Now this is where it gets exciting. I do believe that before the end of this year Disney will give us some juicy details about Monsters Inc. Coaster and land. We're all eagerly waiting, and there's even more excitement in the air with the special D23 event happening in Brazil later this year. Who knows what surprises are in store for us, but I do feel depending on where it's going to be built will be the key for when this project will begin. My guess is we're going to see this new land being built in Animation Courtyard, as this area has really nothing happening. This is why I feel like The Little Mermaid, which was due due to open in fall 2024 has been pushed back into summer 2025. But I have to stress it's not off the table. I just feel it's easier to wall off the area compared to Muppets Courtyard, which also offers little. But at least here you have Muppets 3D Vision and 2 restaurants, which are in operation. Plus, let's be honest, none of us want to lose the Muppets. Now the next project is located at the Magic Kingdom, and this one is a very big and vast project which will add a new land and remove Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer's Island. The Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer's Island has been a beloved spot for years, giving us a delightful peek into America's frontier history. But Walt Disney World is planning to bid farewell to these classic attractions to make space for some seriously thrilling new experiences, including a Cars themed expansion and a brand new Villains Land. #Beyond Big Thunder. It's a bittersweet moment. It's sad to see the Rivers of America go and Tom Sawyer's Island, but I guess that's progress for you. But this project has already been pushed back, and it's to do with planning, applications and permits. As Walt Disney World is working on transforming Frontierland, Disney has filed for water management permits with the state of Florida. These permits are super important to ensure everything stays eco-friendly and in line with environmental regulations, especially since the project might affect over 300 acres of wetlands. However, it looks like there's a bit of a bump in the road, as the state has asked Disney to make some major modifications to their initial permit application, raising concerns about water management and the potential environmental impacts. It's great to see that the state is being proactive about protecting the precious wetlands, while Disney aims to bring new magic to the parks. So let's break down some of the key details from the South Florida Water Management District regarding Disney's exciting expansion plans. As they move forward, Disney has some important boxes to tick and check. First up, they'll need to alter the permit to a conceptual permit. This means they'll have to provide detailed plans for how they'll manage the water quality throughout the project. Plus, Disney is being asked to show how they'll minimise any disruption to wetlands, ensuring natural treasures stay protected. But that's not all. They'll also need to conduct wildlife studies and create migration plans to assess any potential impacts on protected species in the area. It's clear that Disney is committed to balancing their magical vision with responsible environment stewardship. Walt Disney World has a 90-day window to respond to the state's requests regarding their water management permits. This is a critical time because how they react could influence the project timeline, which was originally set to kick off in early 2025. Some of the state's requests are pretty straightforward, but others might need a lot more detailed data collection and analysis. This means there's a chance that the construction schedule could be pushed back. As Disney works through these regulatory hurdles, the future of Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island is definitely a hot topic among fans. But remember, it's all about finding that perfect balance with environmental considerations, and we'll definitely keep you posted on that process as it unfolds. And as for Villains Land, I don't see this project starting before Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island, as all the land that will be cleared for villains will most likely be used to fill the shallow riverbeds of Rivers of America. I mean, why pay for mud when you've got it on site? Whilst we're talking about this area, let's turn our attentions to Big Thunder Mountain, as Big Thunder is due to close on January the 6th, 2025. So the last day for you guys will be January the 5th. As it will be going down for a lengthy refurbishment and won't be opening until 2026. And the Coastal Steel Company on the permits for Test Track is also on permits for here too, so we'll definitely be seeing some metal work being done, such as track replacement, system updates, and hopefully some new special effects. And some good news is that the holiday overlays for Jungle Cruise is set to return for this holiday season, beginning November the 2nd, 2024. But if you can't wait, Jungle Cruise is due to reopen from its refurbishment on October the 16th. Next, we're going to talk about Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. There's a brand new DVC tower in the works, and we've got a sneak peek inside the guest rooms. Get ready for a design that's sleek, modern, with a chic beige palette and pops of colour that tie in Disney's beloved characters. Disney is shifting away from the classic 20th century tiki theme to embrace a more contemporary, modern Polynesian aesthetic. They've even brought in a tattoo artist to create a stunning mural on the tower, swapping out the traditional tiki gods for references to characters from Mona. Honestly, I think this place is destined to be a fully booked timeshare property, whether or not it matches the nostalgic Polynesian vibes. The incredible views of Seven Seas Lagoon alone will draw guests in, and let's be real, Disney didn't dive into a project hoping for a gamble. They're banking on making tons of money with another DVC tower already on its way. I have to admit, I personally would love to see more of that classic tiki charm. It's what makes the Polynesian resort so special and unique. The new design feels a bit more like a universal resort style than a whimsical feel that we expect of Disney. But hey, it's going to make for stunning stays with them views, especially during those fireworks and the electrical water pageant. And before you ask, them holes are not for the monorail, they're terrace gardens, which you guests can sit back and relax and soak up the beautiful scenery. Now we're diving into our latest updates on Reflections, a Disney lakeside lodge and nature-inspired resort set to transform the former River Country water park at Walt Disney World, located on the shores of Bay Lake between Wilderness Lodge and Fort Wilderness. Originally announced in October 2018, this unique development is designed to honour Walt Disney's love and respect for nature. With over 900 hotel rooms and Disney Vacation Club villas, it was poised to become the 16th Disney Vacation Club property. At the 2019 D23 Expo, the excitement grew as Disney described Reflections as one of the most unique resorts ever built. The concept showcased stunning treehouse suites and charming A-frame cabins, alongside a delightful restaurant inspired by Princess and the Frog, situated along the bayou of Bay Lake. However, after the park closed in March 2020, the project faced significant delays. Construction was halted and the site remained clear, but dormant for the past 4 years. Nothing much really happened. Only site clearing and staging had progressed, with no foundation work completed. As of September 27th, 2024, things are looking promising. Groundwork is finally being laid for construction to resume. It's an exciting time as we anticipate the return of this innovative resort in the coming years. Walt Disney World recently submitted a filing with the Federal Aviation Administration for a 240-foot mobile crane set to operate from October the 14th, 2024 to August the 14th, 2025. The GPS coordinates pinpoint this crane location directly at the Reflections site. Initially, this filing indicated a mobile crane at this impressive height. However, new details have emerged. There are now plans for additional cranes, along with a description of proposal. The update reveals that these cranes will be used to construct a spectacular 10-story hotel. When fully raised, the cranes will reach a maximum height of 240 feet above ground level. When inactive during non-working hours, they'll be lowered to 150 feet. Some Disney fans are concerned that a 10-story building will stand out on the horizon, destroying the views across the resort and Fort Wilderness. The resort was always going to be a 10-story hotel. The artist illustrations just made it look smaller. As for any of the internal design designs of the hotel we can't really talk about, as nothing has been released, no permits or updated artist illustrations have been released either, and the website what was showcasing the concepts for this hotel is no longer accessible. With the filings, the surge of permits and other construction activity, it's clear Walt Disney World is gearing up to resume works on Reflections. It's a real exciting time if you love Orlando, Florida, with all of these projects in the pipeline set to start real soon. So what's your thoughts and opinions about all of these projects? Comment down below, as we'd love to hear your thoughts. Please don't forget to smash subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell, and share with your friends and family, as this really helps our channel grow. Want even more Orlando, Florida updates? Don't forget to check out our website, gottagoorlando.com. It covers everything that's happening here in Orlando, Florida. Now get out there and go and make some memories, and all I can really say right now is TikTok, gotta go Orlando, guys. And don't forget about these two videos right here.